Opoda Farm in Siaya County.
I started to dig the foundation of this house.
This is the rural home of Raila Odinga, the man described as the enigma of Kenyan politics.
It's very refreshing.
It's a chilly morning when we take a walk around the 150-acre farm with a man who, for the first time since he plunged into active politics 21 years ago, is neither in government nor in parliament. I ask him what he feels to be out in the political cold.
I feel very okay. I don't have the rigors and pressures of having to respond to emergencies in government. I just listen to issues like an ordinary Kenyan. Come and show you the other thing this side.
He says now he has plenty of time to run his farms and businesses. However, for the moment, he has just retired from government, not from politics.
I've got enough to occupy myself. That's why, when they say that I must retire to get a pension,
This looks like good retirement.
I can live without having to go and beg for.
But you do deserve that. It's your right, isn't it?
It's all right. Kibaki gets everything. Everything is paid for. They even bought a building for him as his office. See, and I have to pay rent for my office. It's very unfair. It's very, very unfair indeed, because we were co-principals.
He doesn't shy from expressing his dissatisfaction. Apparently, it's in his name.
Raila comes from what is called Aila, and it's a kind of a shrub that grows, and it has got some leaves that sting.
And it suits him, one would say, looking at his character and nature in politics. He was President Daniel Arap Moi's fiercest critic. Mwai Kibaki took over power after Odinga threw his weight behind him before their acrimonious fallout over a dishonored memorandum of understanding that effectively turned Odinga into Kibaki's harshest opponent. Eventually, after a hotly contested election in 2007, where Kibaki was declared a winner, provoking wide unrest in the country, a grand coalition government was negotiated. Odinga became the prime minister, Kibaki's co-principal.
I shoot straight. That's why I used to tell Kibaki, no, you never consulted me. And the constitution says you must consult me. That is really how I was brought up. And that is what has brought me this far.
And indeed, you've come very far. Probably just, would you take stock of the past year?
Last year, around this time, the air was pregnant with expectations because we were just on the eve of an election. We, of course, had an incumbent who was not running for elections at that time. But everybody knows where his sympathies was, okay? Being a principal, of course, I was in a very uncomfortable position because you could see that the machinery was being used somehow in one direction.
All the same, he threw himself into the ring to challenge his biggest rival in the March 4th election, Uhuru Kenyatta. He was convinced he was headed for victory, only for the results to read otherwise. Odinga did not accept defeat and proceeded to challenge the results at the Supreme Court.
I was doing it for posterity. I was not doing it merely for the sake of Raila Odinga. And I still maintain I don't think it was fair for the judiciary to dismiss such an important petition on the grounds of lack of time.
It was such an anxious moment for everyone in this country. I imagine the anxiety was even greater for you. Just tell us what was going on through your mind as we waited for this landmark ruling.
To me, what was agonizing was this delay in announcing the results. You see, Kenyans went to an election on a Monday. Yet by Tuesday, Kenyans don't know who was the president. Until Saturday, we knew what was being done in all that period of time. So to me, it is not the petition. We're talking about anxiety. Was knowing that these people are manipulating results is what was most agonizing. Okay. Thereafter, one only hoped that the Supreme Court will do justice to what had happened, the manipulation which had taken 5 days to concoct. But they did not do it.
Even then, political scientists observed that the acrimony between him and his former ally William Ruto was going to cost him the ultimate electoral prize.
Do you have any regrets for having fallen out with him? And could that have cost you your presidency?
No, I mean, I have no bitterness against Bill. We are friends. We remain friends right through. Of course, he had to make a choice, and I think that everybody knows the reason for that choice or that marriage. It is a marriage of convenience to deal with an emergency of the time. And everybody naturally understood, and I understand. I don't think that it cost me. I did not lose, as you know, but I know that the stakes were very high to some people because this was a shield, and naturally things had to go the way they did.
Odinga has now taken a stab at the presidency 3 times. Many of his supporters now believing he was the best president Kenya never had. But does he plan to make one more attempt come 2017?
No, I've said I have not made up my mind about running again for the presidency in 2017. And I've always said that it is not really Raila, or it must not necessarily be Raila Odinga. I have not been just actuated by the desire to become president of Kenya. I've been doing this because of a reason, for a purpose, that I represent a movement. At the moment, I think that it is not right to put this country on a campaign mood. We need to give those who are there an opportunity to deliver, to implement their policies, so that people can be able to judge them on the basis of merit. You don't want to have a situation where people will go and have an excuse that you've done so much, but we would have done better had it not been for so-and-so interfering with us. So I say that we will be supportive of the government of the day. So where they make mistakes, we will point those ones out, and we will criticize constructively. That is the role of an opposition, what you call Her Majesty's loyal opposition.
You are the leader of the opposition, but we don't seem to feel the vibrant, the aggressive Raila Odinga that was before this election. The opposition is not so much felt. What do you say to that?
You see that I'm not in elective position as things stand right now. You see the system that we adopted is a presidential system. So there is no government to fight in parliament. Because even those who answer questions in parliament are chairmen of parliamentary committees who really have no commitment because they are not in government. They are given answers which are written, and they cannot answer subsequent supplementary questions because they're not part of government.
If you were president right now, what would you change?
There are a number of things I would change. First, I would make the devolution work. The way things stand right now, the daggers are drawn between the counties, the national government, and the National Assembly, which has also joined the fray, and even the Senate. So it's like the Tower of Babel. There's too much noise. Nobody knows what should be happening. There's nobody who is in charge, as you can see. You compare this with the Grand Coalition government, which you are saying was discordant. You say that that was Jerusalem.
Does anything at all impress you with how the government is being run?
I think that the government is doing a PR job. I think they have hired a public relations company that is helping them with the media to prepare nice statements to show that something is happening.
All the same, he is watching everything from a distance now, and that has given him ample opportunity to complete his book, The Flame of Freedom, which he says contains his vision of an ideal Kenya.
It has eluded us for the last 15 years because of the mediocrity with which this country has been ruled for the last 50 years. So we have now had 50 years of misery, and I'm saying let us not again begin the new chapter of another 50 years of misery again. Okay? So this is what actuates me. And see, you can already see that a number of things I started are bearing fruits. Like when I said infrastructure, 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 5 years ago, 6 years ago, now you can see what is happening. The highways, nobody gives credit to me that I'm the one who started the route to construction of highways, modern roads in this country, the bypasses. And then I'm also the one who came up with the idea of the railway line, modern railway, and the Lamu Port project out there, okay? But I don't want to blow my own trumpet, okay? So long as it has happened, I'm very happy and I'm vindicated.
Thank you very much.
All along, as we conducted our interview, his wife Ida was in the kitchen with her team of chefs. She is preparing to host dozens of guests. Her husband is meeting the Council of Elders and almost the entire political leadership of the Luo Nyanza region. He is the region's kingpin, but he believes his appeal is nationwide. Sylvia Tibet for Newsmakers 2013.